And welcome back to WTSF, where I answer questions on r/Street Fighter with in-game examples. I find the common themes for the week on Reddit. You then vote for which one you want to see in this poll here, and then I answer questions based around that theme. This week, what you'd like to see most is finding people to play. If you'd like to take part in these polls, they go up every Friday on my Twitter if you follow at Behind the Wires or at the Here FGC. Links in the description, you can take part. First question by Minji100 is about playing Street Fighter 2 now. Street Fighter 2 is a game I've played as a kid and think of learning at a competitive level. I'm wondering if the game is still popular to have local scenes. I checked Fightcade and it's not as populated as I'd have thought. I know I'm super late to the party, but I really want to see if I can get into Street Fighter 2 and if it's worth it in 2020. Main is old Ken. So basically they just want to know what the popular format is for playing Street Fighter 2 these days. So one of the first things they've said there is that they don't think that Street Fighter 2 is that popular on Fightcade. The important thing with Fightcade is that you've got to pick the right time of day quite often in order to find someone to play with on there. And the other thing to think about is that not every version of Street Fighter 2 is going to be popular on here. You've got to kind of pick the right one. If we scroll through them all here, you'll see some are more popular than others. So Champion Edition's doing alright. But because it's arranged in alphabetical order, what you've got to actually do is scroll right down to the bottom here, and you'll see there's two more because they start with Super. So Super Street Fighter 2, new challengers. And then Super Street Fighter 2 X Grandmaster Challenge. This is essentially what you would consider Super Turbo. And you can see immediately there, as I clicked on that, I was invited into a match. This is a really popular version of the game, always got people online. Where you see two flags, that's people that are actually playing right now. So you can see there is loads happening on here. It used to be that when you went to stats, you could actually see like a heat map of what times of day were the best to sign in for different games. I can't find that right now. Let me know in the comments if you know where to find that information, because it was really, really useful. But what we can see here is in the last 30 days how many times people have played it. You can see 2,300 just on Grandmaster Challenge. So yeah, lots of people playing Street Fighter 2 still on Fightcade. So long as you pick the right version and the right time of day. It is a really robust system as well, so even if it is quite popular one continent over from you, don't be afraid to play against those people. Sometimes you get decent connections from quite far away. Next question from Adam Snadler. What's the best way to play Street Fighter 2 on PC? I'm liking the Switch version and the online, but I don't know how to do it on PC. So we've just shown there Fightcade is one way of doing it. It can be quite difficult to set up if you don't know how, and it is the unofficial way to play Street Fighter 2 on a PC. The official way to play Street Fighter 2 on PC would be to play a 30th Anniversary Collection. It's available on Steam and it does retail quite high, but you can see here you get quite a lot for what you pay for. So you get 5 different variations of Street Fighter 2 on this one. Version of Street Fighter 1 if you ever wanted to play that. All of the alphas and each iteration of Street Fighter 3 as well, all the way up to Third Strike. Online, you can also play Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting on this one, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Fight for the Future. And that's in online or casual settings. And they've also made like special sort of practice modes for these that they've had to actually engineer for this version of the game in particular. So you can finally practice in some of these games, which hasn't really been available up until now for some of them. I imagine this is the same version that you're playing on the Switch. The wait times on the PC version are quite long, but you can dip in the arcade mode and just wait there. Next question from Half-Born Priestess, looking for other newbies. Hey, I'm a fighting game newbie and picked this up on Wednesday PC. Also picked up Tekken 7 today. I'm looking for other newbies to play with so we can push each other and get better and stuff over voice chat, etc. I'm in the UK. The new Challenger Discord is pretty great. See here they've got sections for general, coaching and lobbies. You can actually set yourself to what kind of character you play and what rank you play. People can search for you by rank and location, so getting games is really quick. You see they've got other games there as well. And when it says Street Fighter 5 coach, and it's not just that you can come in here for advice, there are actual coaches for each character that'll sit and do lobbies with you and teach you the ways as well for free. There are also communities on Facebook and Twitter, even Instagram. I found people to play against on there. So lots of options there just online. Next question from Marco the Mage, looking for other players to play more or less regularly. I'm just a silver from Europe and play on PS4, trying to get back into the game and would like to form a routine. Getting a group to play would be awesome. So we've covered the online. If you're offline, some of the things that you can do include going to toptier.gg and then click and find an event. And then they've got an interactive map of all of the events all over the world. And these are by location. And these are input manually by these tournament organisers, so it's not everything, but it's a pretty good starting place. If you're a TO, you can just go to events here and list your event if you want to actually put your own into their directory. In addition to that, r/Street Fighter also has its own. If you are a TO and you're looking to add yourself to their directory, you just go to this link here, Local Fighters Network. If you want to find a local, you use resources and you scroll down, and here we have the FGC Spotlight and local directory. Similar, but without the interactive map, you can see loads of places that actually have events. It's a long list, so I'd advise a Control F and then searching for wherever you are and just seeing what comes up that way. And specifically for Street Fighter 2, I'll link this in the description because I think this is one of those things that you'll only find if you know about it. There is the World Warriors map as well, and this shows you all of the Street Fighter 2 locations around the world, and this one is quite something. If we click on any of these, you'll actually see events, you'll see their Facebook links. What's cool about this one is that it links events, which I think are like the teardrop shaped ones here, and you'll actually get links to where they are and stuff like that. I think it's stars that are arcade machines, so this will actually just show you places that you can play Street Fighter 2. I can't remember the rest of the key, but there's a bunch of others in here as well for locals and other things. It's a really cool community-driven resource, so I'm glad the questions came up that highlights that. From JWP 1986, do I lose LP due to inactivity? No, you will not lose points due to inactivity, so take all the time you need. I think if they were going to do that, they would have done it with Champion Edition, and they haven't. So ranked is where it is. It's also been brought up that's going to affect your seed in the upcoming Intel event as well. So yeah, make sure that you don't lose LP if you're worried about doing that, because it will affect where you sit when you start the bracket off. From Infamous Paper Bag, do I have to be good to have a fighting game channel? I want to start a channel, but I am trash at Street Fighter. Do you have to be good? Moving swiftly on. From Spider Pilot, if I get Street Fighter 5, can I play it with a friend who has Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition? First off, no matter what version of Street Fighter 5 you have, it will work with any other version of Street Fighter 5. So in the store, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition is 25 quid. The upgrade kit is 19.99, and the game itself here 15.99. So it's only worth getting the upgrade kit if you've already got Street Fighter 5. If you don't, the best value for money is definitely the Champion Edition. What you're getting for that extra £9, if you do choose to get that over the base version, is 2,000 pieces of DLC basically. So that's characters, stages, costumes, music. It can be confusing knowing whether or not to pick up a certain version, especially going from older Street Fighters like 2 and 3 and 4. Street Fighter 4 set off quite a bad precedent because you had Vanilla and then you had to buy a new version after that, and Vanilla never interacted again with the other versions. But with 5, they promised that would never happen, and they've lived true to that promise as well, so you can actually play any version of Street Fighter 5 with anyone else who has any other version of Street Fighter 5. The only difference is that you won't be able to play as certain characters, and they might be able to play as those characters. Again, it's worth sometimes having them just so you've got something to practice against. If you want to lab characters like Seth right now, who are all over the online play, it's worth spending the extra. And that has been episode 6 of WTSF. I hope this has been useful for you. A little change in format. Not a lot of gameplay this time around, if any, depending on how I've edited this. I might throw it. But yeah, thanks again. Hope this has been helpful this week to make up for that.